What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, where we break the hype, expose the truth, and speak for fans that we truly see the wrestling business as it is today. Because if you ain't talking, I ain't watching. I'm your boy Ricardo, as always, and with my main man Kenny. What's up, big dog? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? Let's get right into it, man. Lots and lots to talk about.
Absolutely. Let's cut straight to the chase. Drew McIntyre is the new WWE champion. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Let me tell you something, man. We've been waiting for this man to win the WWE championship for over 5 years, since COVID. And we, time and time again, after every opportunity that Drew McIntyre has been trying to get as being WWE champion or even World Heavyweight champion on either Raw or SmackDown, this man has come up short. I was a strong proponent recently in my past videos that Drew McIntyre will win the WWE championship. I've been proclaiming about it since last week, about how Drew McIntyre will win the WWE champion. The only thing that I was wrong about, it was who was going to interfere. And not for nothing, I said it was going to be Randy Orton, but it actually turned out to be Jacob Fatu, which is really intriguing, because now the ball is in Triple H's court and it's in Cody's court, because you got to be careful on what you're going to do here, because yes, Drew McIntyre is your WWE champion, but the fact that Jacob Fatu attacked both Drew and Cody, but mostly towards Cody Rhodes in the near end of the 3 stages of hell match in the steel cage, it goes to see what will go on from here. But I'm hyped about Drew McIntyre, Scottish Warrior, my man's damn time. What you think, man?
Okay.
I've been waiting for this.
They actually did it.
Yup, they did it.
They actually did it. And last show, I don't think it was a hot take, because most of the people I saw on online, especially on IG, were kind of in the same boat that I was in that they wouldn't switch. They wouldn't make the switch this late into the WrestleMania season. And a lot of people might think it's early in the WrestleMania season, but I actually think it's a little late, because the next pay-per-view is
It's
the
Royal Rumble. Yeah.
So you usually and if you know the history of this company, you would know they usually don't make title changes, especially huge title changes, this late in WrestleMania season. You would have, if any title changes would have been made, it would have been probably made at Survivor Series or something, right?
Right.
Not in January, when you're like 2 or 3 months removed from WrestleMania. And I thought that was most likely the same thing that they were going to do this time around. But boy, was I excited that I was wrong. Last show, I said, I hope I'm wrong, but I think they're going to keep the title on Cody.
Right.
And I'm sitting here today, glad that I was wrong. And I hope people just, clown me in the comments, tell me, hey, listen, we told you so. We told you so. We told you so.
Yeah.
Because listen, all of that trash talk, I deserve it. But I'm sitting here happy because we finally got out of the Cody Rhodes championship run.
Yes.
Which is the best thing that could ever happen to SmackDown.
Absolutely.
That title has been in purgatory ever since he got it from Cena. You know me. I always believed that Cena should have never lost that title until his last match.
I agree with that. Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And if that would, think about it. If that was what happened, right, and Cena dropped the title to Cody, would we feel this way about Cody? No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't, because Cody would still be champion right now.
It would,
but the fact
it would have been open season for the WWE Championship.
Correct, and right on time, right, because it's WrestleMania season. So I thought the timeline was a little weird, but Cody won it in August. And as much as I didn't like the move made SmackDown stale. It made the product stale to the extent that a lot of people were just put off by it. You saw the ratings sub 1 million for the first time ever. SmackDown has never went sub 1 million in the Vince era.
Ever since aggression, PG.
As bad as it was in the PG, in the Ruthless Aggression, Ruthless Aggression was great.
It was great.
But as bad as it was in the PG, it never got that bad. Never.
Yeah.
And that was under the direction of the QB1, Cody Rhodes. And we said on this show, or I said on this show, Cody Rhodes does not elevate anyone. He does not put anyone in a position. He cannot elevate you from being on a mid card to a main eventer, because after you're done with him, you're kind of like, well, what's next, right? So that was the issue that I had with Cody Rhodes. The biggest issue I had with him was he did not elevate any of the superstars that he feuded with. And we finally got the end of his title reign tonight. And I for one couldn't be much more excited about it, because it's been a long time overdue, right?
Right.
And we needed a change, and it looks like SmackDown is, the A show now. It looks like SmackDown is a show that they're really, really focusing on, because they got most of the young talent, which we'll talk about in a little while. But they got a lot of young talent coming through the pike, which they desperately need. But this is a chance for Cody Rhodes to go into that stratosphere of chasing, right, rather than being the championship, like you alluded to, I think, weeks ago.
Yeah.
You said, hey, Cody's a better chaser than he is a champion. And I agree. And I agree with that. And this is an opportunity for Cody Rhodes to kind of just give back to his peers, to give back to the people that actually need it. And what I mean by give back is he needs to elevate others. Okay. And I keep going back to that again, right? His predecessors, Roman Reigns, Cena, they elevated people that they were in the ring with, whether they had a championship or not. Okay. We didn't take Bronson Reed serious until he wrestled Roman Reigns and beat Roman Reigns. Okay.
You can actually make an argument. Seth Rollins started that.
Right.
For Bronson Reed. Yeah.
Seth is another guy that elevates others, right? And I can't even tell you how many people Cena has elevated. I mean, you got Punk.
It's endless. It's endless.
You got Punk, you got KO when he came to the main roster. You got
you
got Edge. Edge won his first title off Cena. Orton. Well, Orton. I think Orton the title before Cena, like a major championship.
He did.
So I think he was already established. I think Triple H can get the credit for elevating Orton, but Cena elevated so many people. And if that's the metric we're going by, right? In that while Cody was champion, right, we have to judge him accordingly. We have to judge him according to his peers. You can't say it's unfair to compare him to Cena. No, it's perfectly fair.
Yeah.
They both held the same title last year, and one was better than the other, and we got to call it like we see it, right? So I need Cody in the spot that he's in. I need him to start elevating others. I need him to be the difference maker on the show, because as champion, he was not the difference maker. Okay, you can say all you want about QB1 and all that bullshit, but Cody was not the difference maker on SmackDown when he held that title, and fans felt it. Fans were turned off. They didn't watch the show. So now I need you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. I have to stop it right there. Do you think Cody Rhodes will be champion again this year?
I hope not. Because what will you accomplish? What does it accomplish if Cody Rhodes is champion again this year? Like, okay, you know what? Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Let's say Drew goes into the Elimination Chamber and loses the title, right? Let's say Cody Rhodes cashes in his rematch clause or whatever, and he beats Drew again. What does that accomplish?
Nothing. Yeah. Nothing. Because exactly. The reason I'm saying that is because, like, I understand that you want him to elevate others. The reason why I think brought up that question is to see, like, in terms of what do you think he will do next, right? If he brings up his rematch clause, that I believe there will be a dual rematch at the Royal Rumble, and then possibly the Elimination Chamber. I don't have them necessarily running it back for a fourth or even a fifth time just because he lost, because he already did 3 matches. Hell, 5 matches. If you want to count the 3 Stages of Hell, 3 and 1, and 2, one of them is at a pay-per-view and the other one was at main event, right? So that's like 5 matches they just had, all for the championship. Right. So I understand what you're saying in terms of, like, I don't think they're going to run it back. I don't think they're going to, in my opinion, they're not going to run it back again, which is why they brought up that tournament on SmackDown coming up. They were like, yo, whoever wins the tournament faces Drew McIntyre for the chip, rightfully so. Now, in terms of, speaking of tournaments and other superstars, Trick Williams, I need everyone to pay attention to this man, because this man is slowly and possibly might become box office with the right superstar.
He already is.
You think he's box office?
He already is. You cannot create that type of reaction. Okay, you can't. You just can't. It's like he walks in. Think about, like, really think about it. He walks into an arena. I don't know where the hell they were last week. Okay, do you know? Do you remember?
No, I don't really care
It wasn't,
where they were, honestly.
I don't think it was a major city. Anyway, I don't think it was a major city. I could be wrong. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But he walks in on the first Friday night SmackDown of the year, right? People are not supposed to know who NXT superstars are. Crying out loud, they perform in the Performance Center, okay, with probably like maybe 300 to 500 people in the crowd, right? You could hear the reaction when this man came out. This aura was like, you knew, okay, that's the guy.
Yes.
Right? You knew that was the guy. Like, it's him. Right? There are just some people that walk in, right? Like that just walk into a room and
they just have it. Yeah.
They just have it. They just, like, you cannot teach it. It's not manufactured. It can't be taught, right? Trick got it. He has it. And we all know this. I'm not telling you guys something you don't already know, but it leads me to my next really little bit of nugget of information. And it's what we've been clamoring on this show for
quite some time.
Yeah,
quite some time. Yeah.
There's another guy that I think they should give another look at.
Yep.
And I will keep saying it. Montez Ford.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's time.
They need to give that man another look. Okay. Because if you think Trick is great, Montez is just as good. Okay?
Absolutely.
Montez is just as good, man. And they have a lot of guys in the catering right now in catering that aren't getting their shot. Okay. And it's time that we stop this bullshit and have these mid 40-year-old men running shit when we know you've got young 20, 25, 26, 27-year-old guys and girls back there that could do their job just as good, if not better, than some of these guys, Jey Uso, or than some of these guys in the fucking main event.
I'm actually glad that you said that, because it also brings up my next point that we've also been clamoring on this show, and it's actually been happening for the past 3 weeks. And I think both of us got to give Triple H credit, because like we've been very heavy on Triple H by critiquing him based on his decision making, based on the storylines and elevation of certain superstars. But as of the past 3 weeks so far, he's been elevating black talent. Jade Cargill, you bring up, I only said 3 weeks, but it's a small sample size, don't get me wrong. But Jade Cargill, Carmelo Hayes, he's bringing in Trick Williams. He's obviously Oba Femi's about to come to the party.
So let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question. You said give Triple H credit. Let me ask you a question.
Just only 3 weeks.
No. I'm just posing a question, okay?
Sure.
Shawn Michaels is single-handedly responsible for putting Trick on the map.
Yes.
Okay. For putting Oba Femi on the map. For putting, Jade, she's a different story. You know, Jade is Jade. But
Carmelo right
Hayes,
now, that you got to give that to Triple H. Now, not back then. Because when Carmelo Hayes got into the main roster, yes, he was fighting Mick.
What did he do?
Excuse me. He was in matches with Andrade, but repetitive matches with Andrade, but then he wasn't used for a quite amount of time. And then Triple H put him in the US title picture and he won. So the fact that when he's won and against good matches with Ilya Dragunov and others, he's been elevated as of right now. So you don't give that
Hayes,
Triple H.
Carmelo Hayes is one loss away from being relegated back to catering.
I don't know about that.
Really? Okay. What main eventer has Carmelo Hayes fought during his title reign?
He didn't fight anyone.
Okay. How about before?
He just got it. It's been 2 weeks.
I know. Okay. Fine. How about before he won the title? How many main events did he fight?
He fought Cody. He fought Randy Orton. He fought He fought Punk
in a one-on-one match, right? In a
one-on-one. Yes.
Okay. When? How long ago was that?
In the middle of 2025. He fought Cody. Yes.
In the main event spot?
At the end of SmackDown. Yes.
For what?
He did.
A regular match?
Just a regular match.
So they're just fighting just because they're fighting.
Yeah, it's like you know when
no storyline, no nothing.
No.
Okay, and see that right there is that's exactly why we don't give a damn. That's why we don't remember. Okay, what I'm trying to tell you is that they haven't done anything with Carmelo Hayes. They haven't even put him in a feud yet. Okay, so let's not get crazy. Okay, yeah, he's been in a couple of matches, and yeah, he's won a big match. But until you get into a big time feud, right? Fighting for the marbles, right? And your championship reign actually feels natural. I'm not jacking that, okay? Because the next thing you know, the next open challenge, Carmelo Hayes can lose that title. And once he loses that title, we're going to be sitting here talking about he had a bad title run. No, they didn't do anything with him. No shit. Since when? Why do you think that we don't have, like, not every championship run has open challenges? Why do you think that is?
Because
We
every
measure.
you want me to answer the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, because every other championship has somewhat of a story behind it, of a rivalry behind it.
Exactly. That's why. So my thing is this open challenge crap, right? Fine. It gives fans a chance to tune in, right, and watch the product. And at any given week, the championship can change hands. Great. It presents a certain level of unpredictability, which we love in our product. However, for someone like Carmelo Hayes, that this is probably the only shot he'll get in a long time. If he loses that title, I don't see them putting him in the main event scene like they'll do Ilya Dragunov. I just don't see that because, like I said, it's not in their nature to do that. And I'm not asking them to put Carmelo Hayes in a big time feud. I'm simply asking them to put him in a feud that is deserving of a United States champion.
I respect that.
And we haven't seen that yet. And if we haven't seen that yet, like I said, he's one win away from being relegated back to catering.
So you view him as a one-off, low key.
I view this as a one-off until they do something with him. Until they say, listen, Carmelo, we'll give you a one-on-one match at WrestleMania because your talent demands it. Your greatness demands it. We believe in you. Once I see that, once I see the investment, then I'll be okay with trying to see exactly what this is, right? But until then, these open challenges are just a way for them to give us something, and then, at any given time they could take it away and he'll be back to where he was before. I need Carmelo Hayes in a string of feuds that gives me confidence that they'll use him moving forward, so that even if he loses that title, right, he is still a prominent part of the show. Right now, they're not doing anything with him to make me feel that way.
You think possibly they might make him feud with Trick Williams, or is it too early yet?
I think it's a little too early.
Okay.
Because if one of them got to win, right? One of them has to win, and I think you leave that alone. I'd even consider putting them in a tag team. I'd even consider putting them in a tag team rather than having them fight right now, because I think both of them need it. Like, both of them need those strings of wins, right? Like, if you have one beat the other one loses, just gets relegated back to catering, right? So
yeah.
I don't want either of them to face each other. I don't want them to oppose each other. I want them to be maybe in a tag team, right? And if it's too early for Trick to be in a tag team, then don't even let those two in the same room. I do not want to see those two in the same room, because you know what's going to happen. One has to lose. And right now, the last thing you want is for your young talent
to lose,
to lose, to be relegated back to obscurity. You do not want that. So if you're not going to put them in a tag team and it's too early to put them in a tag team, I'd say do not let those two in the same room. Leave him as it is. Let Trick do his own thing. Let Carmelo do his own thing. And then once Carmelo loses that title, and once Trick finishes his program with whoever, pair those two together, because God only knows SmackDown's tag team division needs help.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents.
I respect it. In terms of but as we see as the trend for SmackDown going up, it's really interesting to see on which superstar will showcase next on SmackDown. Or even if there's not going to be another edition on SmackDown, whatever's happening on SmackDown is right now must-see television. Because now we just got Drew McIntyre as WWE champion. Yep. You can see the young talent on the come up, as we can fully see. But we got to shift gears to Raw a little bit, because our main man, the ruler of the WWE, is coming to the main roster. And my dog, Oba Femi. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever's watching this, let me tell you something, man. Oba Femi is next. I don't care who's WWE champion. It could be Punk. It could be Rollins. It could be Braun Breaker. It could even be Roman Reigns. Oba Femi got next. This dude's presence is so box office. I haven't felt a presence like this from a dominant standpoint since Brock Lesnar in his prime, right? And the fact that the crowd the audience gets behind this man, gets behind this brother in such a invigorating and inviting fashion, you cannot ignore the presence of this man. Because his first two, in my opinion, his first real main event box office match was against Cody Rhodes. Now, and despite the match didn't truly finish, you could tell Oba Femi was giving this man Cody Rhodes the business. And that's your WWE champion. You got this man Oba Femi that could run the game for a good 10,
15 years.
10, 15 years as the ruler of the WWE. And mark my words, people might believe me because, like, Kenny, you brought this up a few weeks ago, or I think it was 1 to 2 weeks ago, about the poster of WrestleMania. It got Cody, it got Reigns, it got Punk, it got Lesnar. There's been reports that Oba Femi is going to give him a big main event push towards WrestleMania. And obviously, you and I, we both think it's going to be against Brock Lesnar. Mm-hmm. If that is true, and which I personally believe that is to be the case, if this man beats Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, give this man the World Heavyweight Championship immediately. And I don't care what anybody says. You give this man the World Heavyweight Champion, and you put a rocket ship on his ass, and you go straight to the fucking moon. This dude, Oba Femi, is box office.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like all of that is great and all. But there's something I want to mention, and I think it's very interesting. What did you think about them putting Oba on? I have
a problem with it. Because it's like this. When I look at SmackDown, there are, to be honest with you, if you really look at it at a point from a roster perspective, there are actually more box office attractions on SmackDown than there is on Raw. Because, like, you look at Raw, you got Punk, you got Braun Breaker, to some degree Brock Lesnar, but Rollins is out, and there's not a lot of depth in the Raw main event picture that I feel like Oba Femi needed to go. But when I look at SmackDown, there's Cody, there's Orton, there's Drew, there's Sheamus, despite he's injured, there's Randy Orton, to some degree Ilya Dragunov. There's some mid-carders that we just mentioned, Trick Williams, that will be on the very verge of being into the main event. So there's a lot of depth to be worked on. There's a lot of depth on SmackDown that they currently have, in which Raw is in desperate need of a main eventer, but not just a main eventer. They're in need of a box office attraction. Because the way I look at it is that Raw is very thin of their superstars in terms of the main event scene, because they're only revolving around Punk and Braun Breaker. Roman Reigns is part-time, Seth Rollins is hurt, and you look at the rest of the main event scene, I'm like, yo, who else is there? So I believe Oba Femi being on Raw is a good move.
Okay. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think ultimately, though, he'd be a better fit for SmackDown.
Okay.
Just because he's another one of those ones, man. Mm-hmm. You know, he's another one of those ones. He's got that same aura Trick has, but different, like in a different way. So before SmackDown tonight, right? I was under the impression that Cody was not going to lose that title. But now that he did, it kind of changes things a little bit, because I never thought that if Oba went to SmackDown, I never thought that they would allow Cody or rather allow Oba to beat Cody. I never thought that as a possibility, because I always thought that Cody was their guy.
Do you believe
Cody is still their guy?
Do you believe anybody would have beaten Cody if it wasn't for tonight, for the championship?
At WrestleMania, maybe. I think the only person that would have beaten Cody would have been Roman, right? And we would have gotten that match again.
All right.
But
thank God.
But I just want to say this, and I think it's very important that we touch on this. We have a problem. We have an Oba Femi, and I can't believe no one is talking about this. Okay, you have Braun Breaker, presumably the guy that they want to put in 10 to 15 WrestleMania main events, right? He's the future. He has been dubbed the future by many, many executives of this company. So we cannot ignore that, okay? That's number one. And he just lost to CM Punk on Monday night.
Clean.
Which means, right? Clean. Which leads me to believe, right, that they knew Oba was coming to Monday Night Raw before, right? Before Punk beat Braun Breaker last week. If that's the case, then I think we got a big problem, because the timeline for Braun Breaker to win the World Heavyweight title is WrestleMania now, right? It's at least according to reports, Braun Breaker is going to be crowned World Heavyweight Championship champion at WrestleMania, right?
Possibly.
Who else? Who else do you think they're gonna crown World Heavyweight Champion? Who else?
I would say Roman, because there's been rumors that are saying that he might win. And
bro, Roman's going to SmackDown. We're not jacking that. Roman's going to SmackDown, bro. Roman is not winning the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going after the WWE champion, man. Come on, man. Stop. Come on, man. He's going after the big fish, man. He ain't going after the. Come on, man. Anyway. And Roman being on that show only stunts the growth of Oba anyway. So I don't think they want that anyway, right? And since Cody Rhodes is probably going to most likely be in a program with either Jacob Fatu, right, or Drew McIntyre,
yeah,
it only stands to reason that Roman faces either Drew, or he goes and faces Jacob, or there's some type of bloodline storyline going into WrestleMania.
Something like that.
So I think Roman fits into the SmackDown storyline with Drew McIntyre because there's history there, Cody Rhodes because there's history there, Jacob Fatu because there's history there, right? Roman really doesn't have any history with CM Punk unless Paul Heyman is involved directly. But like I said, I think Roman goes to SmackDown. But the timeline for Braun Breaker to win the World Heavyweight Championship is at WrestleMania. But Oba is in the picture now. And that's a big problem because if Oba's in the picture, you cannot have Braun Breaker dominate for 10 to 15 years while Oba is on the same brand. Both of them are going to clash at some point. And what did I say, right? What did I say about Trick? And the same thing I said about Trick and Carmelo applies here. Somebody's got to lose. So who loses? If you had to pick right now, Braun Breaker or Obafemi to build your future around for the next 10 to 15 years, who would you pick?
Because the way I view it, I'll pick Braun due to the fact of what's happening right now in terms of a bunch of need to win, and he has a little bit of cachet as of right now. He's a little bit of ahead of Obafemi as of right now, because I think he's all. No, just I said by a little bit because he's been the main roster.
No. He's not though. So what? The moment is never too big for Oba. You need to understand that. Like, you think Oba loses clean to CM Punk? Of course not. Never happening. You think Oba looks like that in a main event in Brooklyn? No, absolutely not. See, my thing is this, okay? And this one, I hope I'm right. There comes a time where you are too great to fail. That moniker applies to Oba. There are just some people that you look at and you're like, damn, that guy right there, he ain't failing. The biggest indictment against Braun Breaker is him losing to CM Punk. Clean. That is the biggest indictment. And if Oba should roll into Monday Night Raw, walks into WrestleMania, beats Brock Lesnar, there's nothing to talk about. There's absolutely nothing to talk about. Braun Breaker this, Braun Breaker that. You are not booking today. I'm saying today you are not booking Braun Breaker to go over Brock Lesnar. You're not. But you would for Oba. You would. Why? Because he's him. That's why. And that's why the timeline seems so weird to me. Because let's say Braun Breaker beats CM Punk at WrestleMania. I think Braun Breaker, in my opinion, should have beaten CM Punk on Monday.
I agree with that.
And
yes.
I think he should have held the title until SummerSlam. Then in comes Oba. After his win at WrestleMania, after his big win at WrestleMania, I wouldn't put him into any program, until SummerSlam, when you can legitimately cash in that big moment against Brock Lesnar. When he finally gets that win against Brock Lesnar and he goes on to SummerSlam, he consequently beats Braun Breaker. But I think we can agree that these two are going to be the flag bearer for Monday Night Raw.
Yes.
And with all due respect to Braun Breaker, it's very, very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate because you just happened to be in the same era as Oba Femi. Sucks.
Wrong place, wrong time.
But it's true. It's the same. Listen, it's the same thing. It doesn't mean he can't be great, because look at Seth Rollins. Okay, for all the greatness that Seth Rollins exudes, he just happened to be in the same era as Roman Reigns. Hey, sometimes that's just how the dice rolls, right? In any other era, right? Okay, maybe not in the Attitude Era, but in any other era besides that,
Braun would have been number one.
Braun would have been number one. Seth would have been number one.
Yeah.
But when you have eras like guys with guys like Hogan, guys like Cena, guys like Stone Cold, guys like Oba, like guys like Roman, you can't do anything with that. You got to accept your lot in life, as the great Kaido said. It is what it is. It is what it is. And it doesn't mean you can't be great. It doesn't mean you can't be in Hall of Famer. It just means there are levels to this. I believe Obafemi is on a different level than Braun Breaker.
That's fair to say.
Period.
Okay. So in regards to Obafemi and Bron Breaker, since we're comparing the two, I want to pick your brain a little bit. If between these two, and I do agree with you that these two are going to be the 1-2 punch for Raw. I do agree with you on that. But do you think that Triple H puts more trust in Obafemi than Braun Breaker, or do you believe that Triple H doesn't think Braun Breaker isn't that guy yet because he didn't win on Monday? Because this past show you said that the level of the way that Braun Breaker lost, that level of significance of how he lost, arguably it wouldn't matter to what Braun Breaker does, even if he does win the title, right? So do you think that either A, Obafemi is the one to go with, or B, Triple H doesn't believe that Braun Breaker is ready yet?
Well, I think we basically just answered that question already. I posed a question to you, and I asked you if it was Obafemi versus CM Punk, do you think CM Punk defeats him handedly like he did Braun Breaker?
No.
We like, you know exactly what you're getting with Obafemi. When that man walks, when that man talks, you believe him. There's a certain level of believability you get when you watch Obafemi. He's dedicated to his craft. He knows exactly what he wants his audience to feel, and he does it in a way that nobody else can. There are levels to this. And if there's one thing that I'm appreciative of the fact that Cena left, it was that we got to see Obafemi in that main spotlight. I'm sorry, but Obafemi he was the best wrestler that night.
The main event. Got you.
He was the best wrestler that night. No one put a better performance in the small 10 to 15 minutes than Oba. Easily the best wrestler that night, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he does jumps out to you. Everything, it's like the eye test is there, right? He passes the eye test. And then when he speaks with enthusiasm, and you take him seriously. So my thing is a guy like that going up against a guy like Braun, that honestly, Braun is great, but I truly believe that if they thought that Braun was ready, they would have pulled the plug on Braun and he would be champion right now. That's what I believe. If you truly believe Braun Breaker was the guy to lead you into the future, right? And he's the guy, and he's ready, fully and able and capable to do it right now, he would be World Heavyweight champion right now. He would be. I just don't believe that they believe in him just yet. You can tell, you can say what you want. Well, Kenny, maybe they wanted him to have a bigger win at WrestleMania. Okay, then why did you put him in a Monday Night Raw match?
Yeah.
Just to lose to CM Punk? Why would you do that? Why would you dilute, right? Why would you dilute him being a world champion? Because think about it. What happened between Cody Rhodes and CM Punk? I'm sorry, Cody Rhodes and McIntyre. The rivalry got so diluted because Cody was beating Drew every single time, right? It got so diluted that we were put off. Ratings fell. We didn't care, right? And then Drew finally won. Oh, yeah? Okay, great. He won. Could have happened 2 months ago, right?
Yeah.
He would have gotten a much bigger pop 2 months ago than he did today. So what I'm saying is the same thing applies to Braun, right? If you believe Braun was ready, you would have pulled the plug and made him champion already. But you didn't.
So you're saying, and based on Triple H's decision making, he didn't strike where the iron is hot at the right time to take full advantage of the situation.
And you know what? I'll present to you another scenario. Gunther. Look at Gunther now. His stock has dissipated to a significant degree. You know why? He beat Cena. The first man to tap Cena out in over 20 years. Gunther. The never give up version of Cena has never tapped before. Gunther tapped him out. And for 3 weeks straight, all you could do was glow. You didn't have this man destroy anybody. You didn't have this man assert his dominance over the roster. You didn't have him do anything. You didn't strike while the iron was hot. What you did was you let this shit cool down. You let his fire burn out, and now no one cares.
And you made him look like a bitch after AJ. And I was there live. When that happened on Monday, I was like, At first, don't get me wrong, the promo was fine, but I'm like, when that happened, I'm like, what are y'all doing now? Because the hype around that Gunther had over Cena after gloating for 2 to 3 weeks, you threw it out the window with just one smack of AJ Styles. You made Gunther look like a complete bitch.
Bro, it wasn't even so the smack, I believe, like, the smack plays a big role. I'm not saying it didn't.
Yeah.
But to not do anything for 3 weeks with Gunther, like, nothing. So, like, you did nothing with him. You didn't have him destroy anyone. You like, if that was Brock Lesnar that tapped out John Cena and Vince was still
Brock Lesnar's killing everybody. Yep. Brock Lesnar's killing everybody.
Look at what Brock Lesnar did after he defeated the Undertaker.
Yeah.
After he broke his streak.
He went after the WWE title. Looked like a monster.
This man went on a run that was unprecedented. If you didn't want, like, and that's the thing. And you know what they did with what Vince did with Brock too, that was so smart? He let him sit and wait his turn.
Yeah.
Brock wasn't outside, gloating and doing all that shit.
Yeah.
Maybe the day after WrestleMania, he was he made an appearance, but that was about it. We didn't see that motherfucker until SummerSlam. Right? You could have done the same with Gunther, right? He didn't need to be out there like that. Like, every single appearance that he had because he tapped out Cena could have been special. If you didn't want to have him destroy the whole roster, fine. But every appearance he had could have been special. But what did he do for a month? Nothing for 3 weeks, and then got bitch slapped. So I'm now supposed to be invested in this, right? And this is the credit that we're supposed to give Triple H? Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I'll give you that, and I can't disagree about that, because it's very funny that you say that, because, like, I watched 2 interviews, both with Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he had an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and he had another interview with somebody else. It was a very good interview, right? And Stone Cold brought something that was very, very important into which the Attitude Era had, which was my era, ruthless aggression, what you had, and to some degree the PG era, that this era does not have. He said that this era is so micromanaged to a T that they don't let the characters flow, right? And when Austin said that, that's a big deal, because the fact that he's saying that folks in the back doesn't let the superstars struggle a little bit, meaning, like, they always got to hold them by the hand and everything like that. So when you brought up Gunther, and after the win he got against John Cena, and it's a very great example what you brought up with Vince. If Triple H allowed this man to wait and not let the momentum dissipate or dissolve with Gunther, I don't think anybody would have had a problem. If the momentum dissipated, he beats John Cena and would have went straight to CM Punk, I think everybody would have been game. Because
but
it's just an example. It's an example. But what?
Okay, gotcha.
It's an example, because you brought up when it was Brock Lesnar, he went straight to John Cena, and now I'm bringing it like that, right? And so it could have been almost similar.
So have him wait, right?
Have him
not
wait.
Make any appearances or anything like that. Just maybe one appearance, but just have him wait until the summer.
Correct.
And whoever has a title, he goes after. Right.
Yes.
And that's my main point.
Yes.
That's my main point. Like, it's strategy, man. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm not saying it has to be perfect. And I'm not saying you have to do everything like Vince did. But you must know. You're Triple H. You've forgotten more about this business than most of us know. So there's no way that you cannot figure this shit out when we could figure it out. There's no way.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
And like I said, man, you will never convince me that Triple H is not the worst booker I've ever seen. I will stand 10 toes down on that. I will die on that fucking hill. Okay? I don't give a fuck. He is the worst booker I have ever seen. There's no way you don't know it. Bret Hart was right. Bret, you were right. This dude right here, he's garbage, trash. Okay? Because all of these mistakes that he's making, you fucking pay a 5-year-old to fucking make these mistakes. Okay? And these are blatant mistakes. These are not like, oh my God, we forgot to say that one thing on TV. Oh my God, no. This is as easy as doing your ABCs 1, 2, 3. And you're telling me you can't do that as the head booker of the WWE? You're telling me that you can't put together a maybe like have like at least like 6 formats and then interchange between them week after week, just like Stone Cold Steve Austin said on the CVV podcast. Like, you should have like at least 6 formats, right? 6 templates, and then week after week you interchange between them to at least have the show flow a little bit more, right?
Yeah, you should have a matter of depth in terms of your decision making, in terms of the show. Yes.
Right. It's just mind-boggling to me, man. It really is, man. Yes, listen, I stand with Bret Hart, man. I stand with Bret Hart. Triple H, bruh, trash.
I respect you down on that hill, bro. I can't knock it because you've been consistent since day one, and I give you that. I've also been very heavy on Triple H. The one thing I'll never forgive Triple H on what he did, like, bro, when I posted up on one of my TikTok pages that got that got like at least 14,000 views, was when he dropped the ball on WrestleMania 41. That plan was so monumental that the amount of matches that he had set in stone and wiped it away when it was revealed on WWE Unreal was the start of the downfall of what's going on right now. Now, and I got to give you credit for that, because not only that I called it since then, you have too, and you've been very adamant about that. So I got to give you credit, Kenny. It's very cool. Now, shifting gears to SmackDown, but specifically Cody Rhodes. Now, for Cody Rhodes, he might be, as of right now on SmackDown, the most interesting superstar to watch outside of Trick Williams, because I believe he's the other person, right?
Isn't it funny? Yo, bro,
yeah.
Isn't it funny how losing the title can make you the most interesting guy?
Yes.
Right? On a show. Isn't that interesting? Like, you're absolutely right. Now he goes from being the whack job champion that no one actually really likes, to being the most important character on the show. You're right.
Yes.
He is the most important character right now on SmackDown.
Yes, because Cody Rhodes have the power to either make SmackDown what it is today, or it might be another laughingstock of a show. Cody Rhodes right now is the key to making SmackDown must-see television. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm about to say, people may not believe me, people might agree with me or disagree with me, but I gotta say this. Heel Cody Rhodes is coming. This man is coming because you look back at the past 2 weeks. Past 2 weeks. Sami Zayn says he wants a title shot. Randy Orton says he wants a title shot. Obviously, he's doing his thing that with his rivalry with Drew McIntyre at the time, and then ultimately losing the WWE Championship. Then you got Jacob Fatu pulling up and then whooping his ass in the steel cage match. So you got a myriad of people going after this man, right? Even when he's no longer WWE champion. If all the cards are on the table to Cody Rhodes, to a point where I believe that a character change must happen due to the fact that, what you said it best, Kenny, he doesn't make anybody better when he was champion. So when he becomes the most interesting person in WWE, and if you make this man a heel, it changes everything. Because it changes everything on its head, because now you want to see how this character of Cody Rhodes as a heel will shift gears against a Randy Orton, a Sami Zayn, a far outside shot of Roman Reigns, even though I don't think they're going to face each other again, my personal opinion. And a myriad of superstars that this man will face if this man becomes a heel. He might actually be, knocking on wood, because I said this last year, because I said I think Gunther will be the superstar of the year. Because of he's going to be on a mercenary killing spree of retiring all these legends. But if they do it right, and Cody Rhodes is a heel, Cody Rhodes might be in line of becoming a superstar of the year. Because how he might change the game, arguably, on SmackDown. And turning eyes to putting everything on SmackDown. Rather than on Raw, NXT, and AEW. If Cody Rhodes becomes a heel, I think this man would have changed everything for WWE. If they do it right. I know it's a big if, and it's a lot of ifs in my argument. And I feel you on that, right? But the last thing I'm going to say before I bring it over to you. You were the same man, Kenny, that said last week that you didn't believe that they would pull the trigger on making this man, Cody Rhodes, lose the championship. And the fact that this man lose the championship, now you gotta sit back and like, hold up. Now shit just got interesting now. And since this is the first myriad of change, in 2026 on SmackDown side of things. Now you got to look at Cody Rhodes at a different lens on what his next move will be. That's what I got to say about that. I think he's turning heel this year.
Before I debunk all your heel turn
crap, okay. First of all, it ain't crap. Okay, you can believe in what you say. It ain't crap. It's a...
How many faces do we have on SmackDown? Just
quite
give me a rough
lot.
estimate. You know, like
okay,
really,
we got
Can you name them for me?
We got
right now. We have Cody. Okay,
we got Cody. We got Sami Zayn. We got Cody. We got Sami Zayn. We got Randy Orton. We got what's his name? Mello. We have Ilya Dragunov.
Yeah, but he's not in the main event. He ain't in the main
You're
event.
only talking about main event scene? You're only talking about main event?
Yeah, main event scene.
Okay, then those three.
Yes, sir.
Sami, Randy, and Cody.
Okay. So basically, all of the rest of the people that are on the main event scene are basically heels, except for those three. Okay. There's just not enough heels.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, there's not enough babyface to go around.
Mm-hmm.
And weren't you the one that also said that this year would be the year of Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton?
Yes, I did.
Weren't you the one that said that?
Yes, I did. I still believe that's going to happen.
I enjoyed the grace and the fervor in which you made a lot of good points, man. You made a lot of good points there. And this heel notion that you have circumvents everything that you said about that feud. Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we all know that Randy Orton, he ain't gonna be a face in that feud. Okay? The day that Randy Orton is the face and Cody is the heel in a feud will be the day that this company goes underground. Okay? That ain't happening.
So you believe it's not? So you believe the rivalry's not happening with Cody Rhodes as a heel and Randy Orton as a face?
It's not happening that way. No.
Okay.
No. Randy as a face. Randy. Okay. First of all, I think we all know this. It's disgusting. Okay. It's disgusting, and I'm using that word, disgusting, that we have to sit here. Kids these days don't know, but we have to sit here and be relegated to face Randy Orton. Okay. That is one of the most egregious things that we have ever been relegated to. And Triple H should be ashamed of himself because heel Randy Orton was one of the greatest characters we have ever seen. Okay, he's the greatest heel this company has ever seen. The fact that he's not a heel right now is a travesty to the freaking whole creative. Okay, that needs to change. The only person that should be a heel or that should be, doing a heel turn is Randy Orton. That's the only person that should be allowed to have a heel turn, not freaking Cody Rhodes. Okay, Cody Rhodes, please, heel Cody, that's a baby. We don't care. Compared to Randy, come on, stop.
Okay,
stop.
You see, this is what you're doing right now, and I see what you're doing, and it's not working. So let me explain something to you, man. So the thing is, and this is where I go back, to what in my video last week about Cody versus Orton. You feel me? And the reason why I'm bringing that up, because do I agree with you that Randy Orton as a heel is the greatest heel of all time? Yes. Is he box office as a heel? Yes. Do I think it's a travesty that Triple H did not make Randy Orton as a heel in this generation? Absolutely. You get credit on that, no question. But here's the difference maker. The fact of the matter is that this generation hasn't seen a heel in this era as of yet that's been box office outside of Roman Reigns.
Yes, I was about to say Roman Reigns.
I said outside of Roman Reigns, right? That's been must-see television than him. I believe. And I'm saying when this man Cody Rhodes becomes a heel, it changes all of that. Because the fact of the matter is, you know what you're going to get with Randy Orton as a heel. You don't know what you're going to get with Cody Rhodes as a heel. And that's the beauty of it. The unpredictability of what Cody Rhodes could bring to the table as a heel is going to be must-see television. Because a lot of people would want to see Cody Rhodes as heel. And people's been clamoring that shit for years as of late, since he's won the WWE Championship, right? There's actually been proof. And Taker himself, the Hall of Famer Taker himself, said that Cody Rhodes should become a heel in his career in the WWE. Cody Rhodes himself has said that the me becoming a heel is coming. The man himself said it. Taker said it. And other people as a WWE fan should say that he should become a heel. So why not do it now? In terms of if he when he becomes a heel, bringing in more eyes to the product of SmackDown. And I bet your ass that, like, if Cody Rhodes becomes a heel, it won't be under 1 million because they won't be looking at Drew McIntyre as the head.
Right. You're right.
They won't be looking at Drew McIntyre as the guy to look at SmackDown. It's going to be Cody Rhodes.
But you do realize something, right? But you do realize, okay, you have Jacob Fatu, you have Drew McIntyre, you have Roman coming back. Roman to me is still a heel. I don't care what anybody says.
Okay? He's a face, to bro. Me,
that dude.
He's a face. He's a face.
I don't know about that. Get the hell out of here, man. He's a
face.
Chief, man.
That is clear as day.
You see how he talks about himself? Do you see how much he talks about himself? Okay.
What man doesn't love himself?
Maybe not a heel. A tweener.
Yeah.
A tweener. Okay. I'd say he's in the middle somewhere. Okay. But you got Jacob Fatu. You got Drew McIntyre. You got Roman as a tweener. You got. Is KO coming back?
No.
I don't know if he's coming back.
Nah, he's not.
He should.
They said 20. Maybe they said maybe. They said maybe 2027. But this year he's out.
So he's gonna be out the rest of this year.
Bro, he had neck fusion surgery, same as Peyton Manning, bro. Remember? That's tough.
Yeah. That shit took Peyton out a long time.
A whole year.
But anyway, I don't see Cody being on the same page with any of these guys. Heels usually come together and form like a camaraderie. Right? Drew would still hate Cody even if Cody was a heel, right? Cody will still hate Jacob Fatu even if Cody was a heel. So my thing is, I just don't see how this furthers along any storylines or any plots, because who does he face, right?
As a heel?
Becomes a heel. What's
Randy Orton?
Who does he face as a heel?
Randy Orton.
Randy is one of the worst baby faces I've ever seen, bro. Come on, man.
Okay.
Compared to his work,
yes.
Compared
you see
to
what you're doing
as a heel,
yes, what you're doing,
it's not even a comparison,
bro. What you're doing, you're comparing Randy Orton to yesteryear when he was a heel in his prime. I feel you about that, but I'm talking about right here, right now, in today's landscape. We understand that Randy Orton as a face is not as good as he is, right? The dude is fighting Father Time as we speak, right? As far as I'm concerned, and when you're around that age, there is nothing else for you to prove. But if you bring in Cody Rhodes as a heel, okay, but if you bring in Cody Rhodes as a heel, you got something for Randy Orton to work with, right? And even yes, you do. Yes, you do. I got 20 years of work between these two,
bro. Why the hell would you want to? First, Randy is not that good of a face that you put him in a program and it's life changing. Okay, stop. He ain't that box office as a face. Yeah,
I just said that. I just said that.
Randy. Okay, so what are you talking about when you're saying, oh yeah, Cody's gonna be in a prominent program with Randy Orton as? No, come on, stop.
Because I feel like when he becomes
Cody can, because as great as Cody is, right? He's not that great because he'd have to carry that feud. And as we all know, Cody carrying feuds. Who do you think is going to have to carry that feud? Randy as a face? So face Randy's going to carry that feud?
Bro,
face Randy cannot carry that feud because he's not. He's not him.
Bro, if I got 20 years of history between these two, it's at an equal playing field. Are you crazy,
bro? Okay, let me explain it to you in a different way. Randy Orton fought Cena last year.
Yes.
What can you remember about that feud?
It was a good match that they had.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? Wasn't anything special in particular, right? Yeah, it was a little memorable because it was their last match together.
Right.
But outside of that factor, that was it. And why is that? Because we had a creative that didn't know what to do with Cena, right? They had no plans for Cena whatsoever. And two, you had a face. Like if the roles were reversed, at the very least, if Cena was the face and Randy was the heel, would have been a much better program. Absolutely much better program. But from what we know, right, Randy, like maybe I'm missing something here. Okay, maybe I'm missing something here. But can you explain to me when the last time face Randy Orton had the best feud of the year? Like
of what, last year?
Humor me a little bit. Go ahead.
Wait, you talking about last year?
No. Has Randy Orton of the best feud of Randy Orton's career, right? The best program Randy Orton has ever been in. If you list them from 1 to 5, that means his top 5 feuds, his top 5 programs. When was he ever a face in any of those programs.
Outside of one, nothing else.
He's never been a face. No. Which one?
Triple H. Early years in Evolution. That's why I said outside of one.
I know you didn't.
I just said one. Bro, I just said one.
See, I said top five. I said top five. I said top. So you're telling me.
And then I answered your question.
That Randy Orton has in his whole career. Hold on. Let me finish. Of all the feuds that Randy Orton has in his whole career, right? His whole career, the Evolution feud with Triple H was in his top five.
No, I never said it was in his top five. Okay. I said
that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm asking you. But that's what I'm asking you. I'm asking you of the top 5 feuds that Randy Orton has ever had in his career, right?
Yes.
Which one of those feuds was he ever a face in?
Never.
A baby face in?
Never. Okay, none of them.
That's what I'm saying. So now, so now I am expecting what Randy has never done in his career as a face, which is give me one of the best feuds of his career against a heel, Cody Rhodes. Randy's never done that before. Randy's not that guy. He's an all-time great heel. He's not an all-time great face. And no one said he's an all-time great face. And have this conversation. Okay, I didn't say we know that he's an all-time great face. But what you're telling me is that this is going to be one of Cody Rhodes' best year, if not his best year. That's what you said.
Yes, I said that.
So if it's his best year, that means that the program he's going to have with Randy Orton, in your opinion, is going to be one of the best Randy Ortons has ever put together, right? Because in order for you to have an all-time great feud with Cody Rhodes, you're going to have to dig into places that you've never gone before. Yes. Randy Orton.
Right.
So you're telling me that Randy is going to put forth one of his best performances in his whole career as a babyface?
Yes, and I'll tell you why. He's going to do that due to the fact of what he wasn't able to do last year. Like I brought up in my past video earlier, is that Randy Orton didn't do anything of 2025. Okay? Yes, I'm not disagreeing with you anything what you just said in terms of how are viewing Randy Orton as a face. But what I do know is that Randy Orton, even if it's a decent like a baby face, or even if it's just good enough, he doesn't need to be great. I'm not asking him to be like, oh my gosh, be like freaking John Cena of baby faces of all time. I'm only saying that he just needs to be good enough as a babyface to be in a program with Cody Rhodes as a heel, right? And if that's the case, if he could be good enough, and which I believe he can, right? I believe that the program that he will be with Cody Rhodes as a heel will be box office. Because again, bro, they got 20 years of history. I don't really need to go as hard as Randy Orton as a heel that I would need for him to go as a face, right? Besides, I personally believe that like you might be underestimating what Randy Orton could do as a face, because I understand what you're saying due to history, right? But I personally believe, based off his age as of what he is right now, I believe he could do things just as good as he is as a face, that he could arguably be almost as good as a heel when he faces Cody Rhodes in their possible program that they may have each other this year in 2026. I believe he could do it. Okay, keep laughing.
I'm sorry.
Keep laughing, bro.
Randy's never been a great baby face. I don't expect him to be a great baby face 25 years into his career. That ain't happening. I'm sorry. If it was the other way around, John Cena. I agree with you on that. We said the same thing about John Cena, bro. And look what happened. Was he a great heel? No.
But
he wasn't a great heel.
We know he wasn't a great heel, but it was good enough. It was decent, and that's all I'm asking. And I'll take that.
But
excuse me, and Ricardo, I'll take that against Cody Rhodes.
But Ricardo,
he just needs to be good enough in terms of facing Cody Rhodes as a heel, and their program will be started. I'm not saying like be like, oh my gosh, be fantastic.
Yeah, but you're saying that this is gonna be one of Cody Rhodes' best year, and the feud that's gonna do it is the Randy Orton feud, and I'm telling you that feud is not gonna do it because Randy needs to be just as great as Cody. If Cody is an A+ heel, Randy needs to be an A+ babyface, and we're not going to get that in a 45-year-old Randy Orton. I love Randy, but we're not going to get an A+ performance from him. We're not going to get an A performance. We're going to probably get like a B- performance from him, and that's great. But it's not going to produce any all-time great rivalry. Cody needs to mix it up. Cody needs to mix it up with someone else. I think his great rivalry will come from someone else. I just don't think it's going to be from Randy Orton. That's just me.
Okay, man. It will remain to be seen, but I don't believe. I know what you're saying about Triple H in terms of being the worst booker of all time, which is I find that freaking utterly hilarious. But like, hey, look, I've been right about a few things as of late, right? And I personally believe this might be one of them. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
You've been the dead clock. You've been the dead clock. You know.
Hey, guess what? The dead clock is right twice a day, and I'll fucking take that shit. I'll take that shit, no problem. I don't give a damn. Shit, if I'm right, I'm right, and I'm gonna gloat till the cows come home. Remember, I was one of the first few people, yourself included, that said John Cena was gonna turn heel. Everyone was against me, you too, and we was right. Like I said, no. I said you and I were in the same boat. I'm saying people who disagreed with us. That's what I said.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, people disagree with us, but it is what it is. But if I get this shit, I'm going till the cows come home, right? But it is what it is. Right, we'll see what happens with Cody Rhodes. I believe he's going to be a heel. You believe if he does become a heel, you don't think he's going to be with Randy Orton, which is fine, right? But
no. I don't think the feud is going to be that great. That's like, okay. I think the feud is going to be good. I just don't think it's going to be like, oh my God, this is the feud that put Cody over in 2026. I don't believe that. I believe the feud that will put Cody over in 2026 will be another feud. It won't be against Randy Orton.
Okay, that's fine, but it remains to be seen. But after saying all that, that's the Wrestling Hypothesis episode, y'all, where we break the hype, expose the truth, and tell how we really see the business as it is today. I'm your main man, Ricardo. Of course, that is King Kenny, my dog, right? Looking forward to see what was going to happen in the upcoming weeks, and the ruler, Oba Femi, is coming.
I can't wait until his debut, man.
I can't wait. You know what? I know this was nothing to do with the show. I'm just like fantasizing right now. I need Obafemi to whoop everybody's ass. I'm talking about pull up and beat up CM Punk. But you know what? You put him. You do something that you were supposed to do with Gunther. Destroy freaking everybody, right? And if that happens, I am game. But I'm Ricardo. That's Kenny. I'm gonna see. Peace, y'all.
Peace out.